Boker Tov, good morning, Chag Sameach. Welcome to our First Day of Passover service. We will be using the Reform Movement's new Mishkan T'filah prayer book. You may have a copy that looks like the one on the left that is a complete version, or the one that's on the right, which will be using the festival version. You will not need to have a copy of the prayer book because we will be looking at the prayers together. This is a sample of the bottom of the page. It shows the page numbers. You'll notice there's a black number and there's also a blue number in brackets. In order to be able to make sure that everyone knows what page we're on, if you're using a hard copy of the book, we will only be calling out the blue bracketed numbers, which means that if you have the big complete book that includes Shabbat and weekdays and festivals, then you'll have only one number, and that will be, for example, here 412. If you have a book like I do, where I'm looking at the black page 148 or the blue bracketed page 412, I'm only going to be calling out page 412. Hopefully it's not going to be hard for you to find the pages, but you will not need a prayer book because you will be reading along with me in this service. We now begin our service. I'd like to show you another interesting thing that this prayer book does. If you're at the top of a page, I want you to look at the very far top right of this page where you see teeny tiny black writing and under it teeny tiny blue writing. The black writing in the case is where we are in the service. It says in Hebrew, Bruchim Habaim, which is the welcome section. If we were on the facing page, you'll see that same kind of thing, teeny tiny letters, but it would be in English characters instead. And that gives you a hint where you are. It's kind of a mini table of contents within the section of the service. This is the welcoming section. The first prayer is specifically about welcoming, and that's what it's letting you know. So we are now ready to take a look at the prayer book and actually begin our service. We read the section for the first day of Pesach. Now is the time to move out of the narrow space. The I is the starting place, never the arrival. The journey outward begins now. The expression narrow space is another way of referring to Egypt, which in Hebrew is called Mitzrayim, and it sounds like some place that is tsar, a narrow space. The journey outward begins now, and for those of us who are confined to our homes, I'm looking forward to the journey outward beginning now. We continue on page 418 with Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkenotecha Yisrael Ma Tovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkenotecha Yisrael. The song means, "How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel." I especially appreciate this at a time when we are praising the Jewish people for the places where they live, and we are confined to the places where we live. We continue on page 420. We will read this blessing in English. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. We are especially praying, God, that you take care of all of those who have been stricken with this horrible illness, this COVID-19. We continue on page 422. We read in English, "My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks before you, Adonai, my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol basar ish." We begin a section called Nisim B'chol Yom, Everyday Miracles. You'll notice that on the side there are blue words that are supposed to give you an alternate inspiration for what we're saying. Our tradition has become that we chant the beginning of each blessing in Hebrew and then the end of each blessing in Hebrew, like this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. We could use some of that right now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. We can use some of that right now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. There's another one I'm praying for a lot right now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a part of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. I do not know if we have a minyan as we go into this section of the service, so we are going to jump to page 453. Our festival is a season of calling, entreating us to listen to the voice behind the passing angel, the shofar, the wind, and the word. Nivarech, let us bless. This next blessing is one that has been revived in order to use in our prayer book. It says below the line, all holy acts require summoning. So important was the recitation of the Shema to our ancestors in Eretz Yisrael, in the land of Israel, that they introduced it with a blessing. That blessing fell out of use over 1,000 years ago, but we reclaim it here as part of our liturgical heritage. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat kriyat Shema, lahamlicho belevav shalem, uliachado belev tov, ulaovdo benefesh hafetza. Amen. Praised are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us how to recite the Shema, to declare wholeheartedly God's rule, to declare earnestly God is one, and to willingly worship God. We now turn to page 455 with an alternate version of the blessing. We read, "The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcomed than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot, which means, praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. We continue at the bottom of page 457 with another alternate version of the blessing. Our rabbis taught 613 mitzvot were given to Moses. Micah reduced them to 3. Do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Isaiah based all the mitzvot upon 2 of them, keep justice and righteousness. Amos saw one guiding principle upon which all 613 are founded: seek me and live. Habakkuk expounded the Torah on the basis of a single thought: the righteous shall live by their faith. Akiva taught, the great principle of the Torah is expressed in the mitzvah, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But Ben Azai found a principle even more fundamental. This is the story of humanity. When God created us, God made us in the divine image. And Hillel summed up the Torah in this maxim: what is hateful to you, do not do to others. The rest is commentary. You must go and study it. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Praised are you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Le'olam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet. We will read the alternative translation to the Ve'ahavta, which is found on page 461 in the prayer book. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. We continue on page 465. I, Adonai, have called you to righteousness, and taken you by the hand, and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations. We are Israel. witness to God's covenant with our people. This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you will be my people. We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children shall be taught of Adonai, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your will and messengers of your truth. You are my witnesses, says Adonai, and my servant whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me. We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you the God of freedom, as did our ancestors on the shores of the sea.
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamota le'la b'kodesh, norati hilot osefele, norati hilot osefele. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. We will read the translation for that on page 471. Let us praise Adonai, source of knowledge and light, from whom we draw wisdom and insight. Let us savor the fullness of each and every day, and fill our souls with the treasures of Shabbat. And let us appreciate these distinctions, sacred from profane, charity from greed, purpose from drift. Let us affirm our covenant as God's people. Let us honor those who study Torah. Let us uphold the truth of ongoing revelation. Let us celebrate the glory of our tradition and draw refreshment from the well springs of prayer. Let us respect tradition and encourage creative faith. And let us dress ourselves in the garments of God, compassion for the needy, embrace of the stranger, and then spread the canopy of peace over all the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, blessed are you, Adonai, Sarah's helper, Abraham's shield. From the top of page 473, your might, O God, renews the earth. With dewdrops of light and blessing, let the earth be illumined and blessed. With dewdrops of joy and delight, let the earth rejoice and sing out. With dewdrops of life and well-being, let the earth be revived and improved. With dewdrops of redemption, let the earth be redeemed. Livracha velo leklala, for blessing and not for curse. Lechaim velo lemavet, for life and not death. Lisova velo lerazon, for abundance, not want. Page 479. Shalosh regalim, 3 times a year, you shall hold a festival for me. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, eating unleavened bread for 7 days, as I have commanded you, at the end of the month of Aviv, for in it you went forth from Egypt. And none shall appear before me empty-handed. And the feast of the harvest, of the first fruit of your work, of what you sow in the field, and of the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather the results of your work from the field. Page 481. Many generations later, redeemed from slavery, Abraham and Sarah's descendants stood at Mount Sinai. The ancient promise was to be confirmed, the ancient mandate reasserted and enlarged, the ancient covenant renewed and sealed, to bind all future generations. When God revealed the Torah, no bird chirped, no fowl beat its wings, no ox bellowed. The angels did not sing, the sea did not stir, no creature uttered a sound. The world was silent and still, and the divine voice spoke, I, the Eternal, am your God. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova, this day remember us for well-being. Amen. Ufotenu vo livracha, this day bless us with your nearness. Amen. V'hoshienu vo lechaim, this day help us to a fuller life. Amen. We continue on page 482. Bestow upon us the blessing of your holy festivals, and may we so celebrate them as to be worthy of your blessing. Our God and God of our ancestors, make us holy with your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our way of life. May our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Let your holy festivals remain our heritage, and let us celebrate them with joy, so that all Israel, hallowing your name, may have cause to rejoice. We praise you, Adonai, who sanctifies the house of Israel and the festivals. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Yisrael v'hazmanim. We read on page 484 the translation, Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your spirits upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachzir shechinato leTzion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Page 487. Our ancestors acclaimed the God whose handiwork they read in the mysterious heavens above, and in the varied scenes of earth below, in the orderly march of days and nights, of seasons and years, and in the checkered fate of humankind. Lift up your eyes, look up. Who made these stars? Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lahodot. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. We continue on page 490 with a blessing about peace. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la la. Sim shalom, sim shalom, sim shalom tova uveracha. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. Until this point in the service, the words that we've said and read have been given to us from our tradition. At this point, we say the prayers that are in our hearts as we take a moment to pray silently. At this time in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating. We think especially of those people who are suffering now with the pandemic illness and the people who love them and are taking care of them. If you have other people you would like us to be praying for, I invite you to call them out loud or to hold them in your hearts. We pray together. O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We add El Na Rafa Na Lahem. God, please heal, please them. El na refa na lahem. God, please heal, please them. It was the prayer that Moses said when his sister Miriam was stricken. And it has become our tradition to add a prayer on behalf of our military, police, firefighters, EMTs, the doctors, the nurses, and our veterans of these professions and callings, as we say, Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we've entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom, protecting us, or healing us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they have been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. It is difficult to lead a service when you don't know if anyone is going to be joining you. You don't know how many people might be joining you. In this case, you may not even know when people will be watching the service. It is difficult to celebrate Passover, which is very specifically our holiday of celebrating our freedom, when we are in some ways not free. We are staying at home and we are waiting for the time when we are no longer in captivity like we did so many years ago when we were waiting to be freed from slavery. But this is a very different kind of captivity. Even though the uncertainty of when we can finally leave is still palpable, we know that we are doing this to protect ourselves and protect the people around us. We know we are staying at home because we believe that we don't want to spread this horrible plague, and that if we are out in public, then we can very well either be a carrier or we can catch this, and so many people have already died, and we do not want to be the cause of anyone dying, and we obviously do not want to die ourselves. We pointed out at our Seder that we have matzah for a week because we did not have the foresight when we were leaving Egypt to realize that we should just let our dough rise. Well, it's something similar to not realizing that we would have this horrible illness and be able to prepare for it. But that's the way life works. There was no way that we were going to be able to know that we were leaving Egypt when we did and be able to prepare by making softer bread. And there was no way for us to be able to know that we could have maybe made the situation less horrible for this illness if we had planned for it before, because there are things in life that we can't plan for. But there are things in life that we can hope for. When we were slaves in Egypt, we hoped to be free, and God freed us. And now that we are staying at home, we hope to make sure that the rest of the world stays safe. We realize that we are in this together. We realize that this whole world has become a village, and they say that it takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to be able to survive this. We need to be taking care of each other. We need to be taking care of ourselves. We need to do it now. We need to realize that we could not have prepared for this, but we can now prepare for ways to try to make this situation better. So make sure you're talking to each other. Make sure you're contacting each other. Make sure you're taking care of each other from a distance, but be there for each other. One of my prayers are that we remember to take care of each other long after this illness is a memory. Like we remember to continue to have hope for freedom long after we have been slaves in Egypt. We do not know how many people might be praying with us, but we do pray that we have a minyan. And if anyone needs to be saying Kaddish, we will now turn to the section of the service where we will remember those who have died, not just in our own families, because we remember those who died especially when we have holidays, but those who have no one left to say Kaddish for them, and for those people who have died, the thousands and thousands of people who have already died just in recent weeks from this horrible COVID-19. This meditation from page 330 made me think about what it's like to be confined and to suffer loss and to appreciate life. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and in each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come, forever and ever. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing, as we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. We continue with the closing song. That's on page 666. God of might, God of right, Thee we give all glory, Thine all praise in these days, as in ages hoary, when we hear, year by year, freedom's wondrous story, now as erst, when Thou first made the proclamation, warning loud every proud, every tyrant nation. We thy fame still proclaim, bowed in adoration. Be with all who in thrall to their tasks are driven. By thy power speed the hour when their chains are riven. Earth around will resound joyful hymns to heaven. Chag Sameach, good Yantif. I hope that the rest of your Passover is meaningful and safe. I'll see you soon. Good Yantif.